Steph need a signature finals moment to be an all-time great?
Boy, you been hanging with the millennials, huh? For real. Oh, Whitlock, rich. I mean, all-time great. All these subcategories, man. No, he doesn't need a signature moment to validate who he is. Because who he is who he is and who he's going to be in terms of the consensus about his legacy. He is a future Hall of Famer, which in the NBA I think some people sneeze at, but which is still amazing. But beyond that, while still dribbling the basketball, has been deemed the best shooter of all time. Breathe, y'all. Understand what that is in terms of an accolade, in terms of respect. Of all the people who've ever played the game, you are the best shooter of all time. Let's not get greedy now. Let's not try and go any farther. Let's not try to get into that tier one, the GOAT conversation. Because the way I look at athletics is simple. It's either you're a Hall of Famer, or you're top 10, or you're the GOAT. All the rest of these categories are for barbershops. That's my point. So tonight
he can get in.
Hell no. Kobe Bryant, some people say, is Friends top 10. Some people say he should be in the GOAT conversation. But if you're saying he's going to surpass a Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson.
No, he's not Magic.
Tim Duncan. Well, who are you taking out of the consensus top 10 to put Steph Curry in there? By that point, there's nothing he can do tonight to elevate and enhance his legacy.
This is the superpower of Steph Curry, is that he knows exactly who he is. And he knows he's not Kobe. He knows he's not Michael. He knows he's not LeBron. And his entire focus has been, yes. It's why we had this conversation the other day. You thought that he wanted KD out so that he could prove himself.
I haven't said that, but go ahead.
I thought you made that point.
I think most great people are delusional about who they are. And I think that's a part of greatness.
Oh, yeah. And he's the exception in terms of understanding exactly. That's what makes him great. This Warriors collectively, it's what makes them great, because they understand that they need each other. Draymond knows that not playing with Klay and Steph, he wouldn't be the same player. Klay knows the same. The one guy, the outlier, is KD. KD's the one guy who says, it's nice that I get to play with you, but I don't know that I need you. Steph and the rest believe that. And so he could have a moment, and it still wouldn't put him in that
Based off that, I want to frame this up a little different for you, Jim, just a little bit. So Rick is arguing to me that Steph Curry's not sitting there going, oh, man, I got a chance to just act a fool tonight and put on a performance that no one believes. I got nothing to lose. The same way I believe Magic before that Game 6 in 19, Kareem's out, I get the clown. And I'm going to put my name permanently on this game. Steph's not thinking that way going into tonight.
I believe Steph is thinking, first of all, let's back up. Steph is playing with house money because the guys that you mentioned in your Whitlock, all those guys had expectations coming out of either high school, college, or went straight to the league. But they were expected for greatness. Steph wasn't.
Right.
So he's playing with house money. Everything he's done up to this point has kind of elevated who he is as a player. He's changed the dynamics of how we all play the game, whether that's NBA, internationally, whether that's AAU, high school. Steph's imprint is on that. So his greatness is always going to be, I think, highlighted when you talk about basketball. Can he step into the top echelon? Does he think that tonight, okay, I got to go out there and this is a signature moment for me? No. I think Steph thinks I need to do whatever I need to do to win the game and let the rest speak for itself, because the challenge he's going to have tonight, depending on what happens with Klay, it's not going to be an easy task.
No,
it's not
impossible.
But that's what makes it great, because as a player, I think a lot of times if you go out there and try to say, well, I'm about to go get 30, a lot of times it don't happen. It don't happen because it's a tougher ask when you have to press the button a little bit. I think when he plays like he plays and allow his game to be who he is, the rest going to speak for itself.
So y'all all are arguing to me is that he's different mentally than all the other all-time greats. Because I know what Kobe would be thinking tonight in the same.
Different person.
Different I know what Michael would be thinking.
Different person.
I know what Magic.
In your own example, Magic Johnson, rookie, comes out there, realizes Kareem down. Oh, he didn't even know about the veteran presence of being an NBA player. He just went for broke and balled out. Steph Curry, because of his veteran presence, understands it's a collective effort. He has gotten this dynasty by looking at it as a collective. So what will he do tonight? he will assess it properly. He does a different calculus than you would do in your rookie season of Magic Johnson. And he's not delusional to his greatness, which is unique, which is why their culture is unique, is why they can bring in a superstar player who's better than their own superstar player and still not be fragmented.
And off of this, those other players, too, were built a little bit differently, size, physique-wise. They could take over a game. Steph is not built like that. If Michael wanted to control the narrative, he can get to the post. He can get to the low post, high post, wing. LeBron, the same thing. Kobe, Tim Duncan. Steph, being a perimeter smaller player, I went back to the game when they played the second year against Cleveland, okay? It was Amon Shumpert and J.R. Smith. They can be more physical with Steph away from the ball. They can take him out of situations. It was things against LeBron or against Kobe, against Mike, against Shaq, you just weren't going to take away. With Steph, because of his stature, there are things defensively that you can take away.
He has physical limitations, unlike the other guys that we mentioned. The beauty of it is he knows it. And while he has the ego to say, I can knock down that shot. You want me to go win the game? I'll try to win the game. But he also has the humility to say, if it's not my turn, if I'm going to be a decoy, if I'm going to draw everybody away and I'm going to let Draymond run things, I'm going to let Quinn Cook hit shots, he's willing to allow that to happen. Those other guys that you mentioned, they only knew one way to do it, which was it's got to come through me.
And to that point, Steph, in his own words, in response to the praise, the respect that came from Andre Iguodala saying, I'm playing for your legacy, Steph says, I don't even need praise and validation. People know who I am, especially these last 5 years. I have cemented who I am, and I'm comfortable in my own skin. Everyone else you named, that would have irked them. That would have ticked them. That would have made you say, I'm going to go above my head in next game. I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
That's not Steph.
He's an alien. Jason, I understand why you're confused because he has all the trappings. He has all the trappings of being a superstar. But he understands that he's not, he knows to his core, I'm not these guys.
Okay, I get it. Yeah. And I get their culture and I get where he comes from and his approach and what has worked. But my thesis is based on adversity creates opportunities.
Sure.
So tonight he's in a rare situation where it's likely Klay won't play, and if he does, he'll be very limited. KD's not going to play. The only way they win, in my view, tonight is if we see 40, if we see a Jordan-like flu game, if we see, again, Isaiah Thomas didn't have the physical gifts, but he got put into a position like, there's only one way to get it done, and I'm about to drag this ankle and try to do it. And that's what brings out greatness. There are rare opportunities. This may be his last chance, and I think he will cape up tonight because it's the right thing to do.
But the situations and circumstances are so different. When Jordan had the flu, Pippen and Rob, they were still out there playing, okay? He didn't have his ace on the wing gone. When Isaiah was there, he still had a full complement of his team. Yeah, he was able to go out there and take over, but the defense wasn't solely focused on Isaiah where they can take him away.
But, Jim, I'm going to go with your point. Right. He's playing with house money, and they've given him even more house money tonight. If Steph goes 10 of 40 tonight, no one cares. He died on his sword, didn't have anybody. He did the best that he could. But if he goes 20 or 40, my God, they're going to carry him off, and we'll be talking about, oh, my God, that's Steph Curry.
If he takes 40 shots, they lose. I mean, this is why I have the Raptors winning. If he tries to force the issue, it's not going to work because they're going to put all their attention on him and make the game difficult for him. He's willing to say, I can't win that way, and the most important thing for me is not to win my way, but simply to win.
If he doesn't take 30 shots tonight, they can't win.
It's why I have the
But it
Raptors
depends on
winning.
what kind of.
Oh, he's going to have to force some.
No,
and he's capable
I
of
understand you need to force some, but here's the difference. The 30 shots is all about efficiency and how you get those shots when you take those shots. I think the key is early on that his teammates make some shots early. That loosens it up for him to be able to do what he does best. And again, taking 30 shots is one thing, but taking 30 shots at the critical time, when it's needed, how it's shot, that is more important to me and how Golden State plays.
It's also going to be interesting if they take him off the ball, if they don't allow the trap to come high, and they simply run him off the ball, then I could see him getting those shots. But the offense isn't going to run through him. He may be taking the shots, but ultimately it's going to be somebody else.
No, Draymond's going to run through Draymond, and he's going to take – but any chance, injury riddle tonight, any chance the Warriors win tonight?
Any chance?
Yeah, or do you think?
I think they will win. I don't think that a compromised Toronto Raptors team can take advantage of a hobbled Warriors team at home. Think about it. Kawhi Leonard, in terms of his shooting percentage and his three-point percentage, has went down every single round of these playoffs. All the way from the top, all the way down. If you look at this from first round to now, what you're seeing is a guy who's compromised. Reports are he has the quad issue, and that's because of the compensation from the knee. All of that says is, yeah, he still has the power. Yeah, he can still knock you out the air, but at the same time, he doesn't have his legs under him. So now you're asking role players or guys who are up and coming like a Siakam to go on the road in Oracle, Game 3, Dynastic Warriors, show up and give us something that's reliable. I'm betting on the Warriors and their DNA, that championship medal.
I like the Warriors, too, at home. Now, hobbled, yes. If Klay doesn't play, that's a little iffy situation. But for me, I've always gone like this. Your role players play better at home. On the opposing team, generally they don't. Can Van Vliet give you what he's been giving you? You know, that's it for me. Is this the game that Kyle Lowry, even though he's not a complimentary player, but he is somewhat to Kawhi?
He's unreliable.
I know, but can
time for him to have a game.
It's time for him to have a game, and you can see that maybe in a scenario like tonight. But all that has to come together in order for them to win on the road.
This is what makes this series so compelling right now, because I feel as if Kawhi might try to take over and take 30, 40 shots. And I believe that would be as big a mistake for Toronto as it would be for Golden State with Steph at this point, because he clearly can't be efficient. So you got to trust your teammates. That's what Steph's going to have to do, and I believe Kawhi's going to have to do it. And then it's
you like the Warriors tonight too?
No, I have Raptors winning.
Because?
Because I think Klay is going to be compromised, because I don't believe that Pascal Siakam is going to be afraid of the moment or the stage. They've gone into Oracle. I've been in Oracle a lot this year. It doesn't hold the same intimidation factor. The fans will be geeked up. They were against Portland. They kind of found their mojo again. But teams aren't afraid of going in there when the Warriors get going the same way they have in past.
So you went there during the finals this year? Oh, no, you know why? Because this is the first game of the finals in Oracle. Hey, you know what? They're just like the players. The fans respond to the players. The players are kind of snoozing through the regular season. The fans are kind of snoozing through the regular season. They know what it's about.
It's like a G for a ticket these days. You got a different fan base. You got people that are coming in with an expectation. They don't come with the same energy.
I think without Klay, if Klay sits, I think Toronto's going to win. If Klay goes out there and gives them 25 minutes of anything, then I see a way with Steph playing a hell of an offensive game. And I think the other guy that I really could have talked about here instead of Steph, is Draymond Green. I think this is the night where Draymond Green could go bonkers. And not with a bunch of points, but just 15 rebounds, 5 block shots, 12 assists, defense, and just he could just have an all-time great Draymond game, and that could propel.
But Klay putting his jersey on the court between the white lines is not enough. A hamstring, one, you're in your own head the entire way, so that's going to compromise him himself. But he's created another opponent if he plays tonight. It's because he's going to say, am I even ready to be out here, let alone deal with what is coming his way in terms of adversity and defense? So I don't think Klay is going to matter either way. I would sit him for those reasons, because I don't think Klay Thompson is going to go out there in 6th gear and give you what you need. It's better to rest him for Game 4.
But I think that coaches look at, you can't give a game away. If he's healthy enough to play, to give him a chance, I think it could be a defining moment for Klay. We talked about Steph battling through this injury to see if he can give them something, whether that's 10 to 12 to 15 points, stretch the floor, knock down some critical threes. I do believe that if the doctor says it's okay, Klay says it's okay, I think, Steve, it's imperative that you put the presence out there on the court and you force Toronto to have to defend against that, whether he's healthy or not.
He's never missed a playoff game, so obviously he's going to be chomping at the bit.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. And be sure to check out more of the best clips from Speak For Yourself, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.